the California Angels will start the 1977 regular season with this batting order. Leading off and playing second base will be Jerry Remy, who hit 300 in spring training. Bobby Grich will bat second and play at shortstop. Bobby Bonds in right field, and Bonds well recovered from the ankle that he turned against the Seattle Mariners a couple of weeks ago. The designated hitter, Don Baylor. In left field, Joe Rudi. At first base, Tony Solaita. The center fielder, Bruce Bochte, and again, Bruce says he is recovered from the cramps that he suffered in his calf earlier this week. Dave Chalk, the third baseman, Terry Humphrey, the catcher. For the Seattle Mariners, their designated hitter, ex-Angel Dave Collins, who hit 302 in the spring. Hitting second baseman, Jose Baez. Hitting third, the left fielder, Steve Braun. The cleanup hitter, another ex-Angel. In right field, Lee Stanton. At third base, Bill Stein. Dan Meyer, formerly of the Tigers, will play at first base. Ruppert Jones, of late of the Kansas City Royals, will be the center fielder. Bob Stinson, also an ex-Royal, will be behind the plate. The shortstop, Craig Reynolds. Well, all the pageantry of the regular season opener unfolding tonight here in Seattle in the Kingdome. The stadium gorgeously outfitted this evening with the red, white, and blue bunting, the half-moon bunting around the entire upper deck. We see that there are some empty seats out in the outfield, but they expect full well that a crowd of 55,000 plus will fill the seats before the night is over. Senator Henry Jackson of Washington will perform the ceremonial throwing out of the first ball tonight, and it's typical, of course, of sports fans. Whenever you introduce a politician, along with Commissioner Kuhn, who's also here, you get some boos trickling down onto the field. As a matter of fact, drowning out the applause. But a lot of dignitaries on hand tonight. Gene Autry is here. Danny Kaye is here, of course, the new owner of the Seattle Mariners. Lee McPhail, the president of the American League, also joining Bowie Kuhn, baseball's commissioner. Sort of appropriate, the 77 season kicked off in Seattle tonight. A new team, a new city in the American League. This, of course, the first game played in the American League in 1977. The new stadium, baseball returning to Seattle. The Pilots, of course, the team back in 1969 that were forced to leave and go to Milwaukee. The city of Seattle subsequently filing a $32 million damage suit, bringing Major League Baseball back here to this gorgeous part of the country. Danny Kaye, Les Smith getting together and putting together a strong staff. Dick Bertleaf, the former general manager of the Golden State Warriors. Lou Gorman, formerly of the Kansas City Royals, and their emphasis on youth. Their goal in 1977 is to try and win 71 games. That has a particular significance to that figure, and that is one more than the number of games the Angels won back in 1961. 70 games, the record set by an expansion team for most wins in their initial season. The Mariners were not totally consumed by that goal because they resisted the siren song of drafting name players. They could have had people like Bill Melton and Clay Carroll and Jim Colburn and Bernie Carbo, but they decided to go for youth and speed. And from the Angels, they picked up Dave Collins and Gary Wheelock and Julio Cruz, Lee Stanton, Carlos Lopez. And from around the American League, people like Steve Braun and Stein from Chicago, Ruppert Jones from Kansas City, players who at this particular time are not tremendously well known throughout the league, but they have great promise. And it's the hope of Lou Gorman and Danny Kaye and the rest of the brass of the Seattle Mariners that they are giving up immediate gain for greater future gain. The experts give Seattle a big edge over Toronto in their draft, said that they were very wise and very judicious in their selections. Gorman said that we have in 1977 better pitching and better outfielders than we had in Kansas City in 1969. So he's very hopeful about this season. The reaction you hear in the background to Senator Jackson, who is warming up, and there's the ceremonial toss of the first ball to Bob Stinson, the Mariners catcher. And, of course, the tailoring of the club, the emphasis on youth, the emphasis on speed suited to this new home of the Seattle Mariners, the Kingdome. The surface is AstroTurf, and that, of course, connotates speed, the hard surface, the fact that the balls are going to be ricocheting off this surface all night and throughout the entire season, and you need a team that can track it down. You need a team that can take advantage of the slick nature of the Kingdome grass. The Angel players in their couple of practices that they held here over the last couple of days reacted to this new environment. They said that fly balls are a little difficult to pick up because there is a gray dome overhead. And as a result, you'd better pick that ball up off the crack of the bat, or you're going to be in tough shape, because the lights and the gray nature of the ceiling combine to make it very difficult. It'll be particularly tough for the catcher, who's got to turn, look up, and pick up the ball immediately. They said that the surface, the infield, slightly slower, slightly softer. Here are the Mariners taking the field now, and the reaction from the 55,000 plus. Frank Tanana coming in from the bullpen down the right field line, holding both arms in the air as if they were applauding for him. Doffing his cap to the crowd, hamming it up as he comes in. The Mariners had all assumed their defensive positions. In the outfield from left to right, Braun and Jones and Stanton. Around the infield, Stein at third base, Reynolds at shortstop, Baez the second baseman, Meyer at first base, Stinson behind the plate, and the veteran Diego Segui on the mound. And therein is an interesting story, because Segui, the MVP for the Seattle Pilots back in 1969, and here he is reappearing for the Seattle Mariners. He has spent 19 years in Major League Baseball. He's been in action longer than the California Angels, and he is on the mound tonight. A somewhat ancient Mariner going up against the California Angels, and a team with great promise, a team that a lot of money, a lot of effort was spent upon this year, a team that has high hopes for pulling down a Western Division flag in 1977. The only bat night in Southern California this season will be at Anaheim Stadium, Saturday, April 23rd, when the Angels play the Milwaukee Brewers. Aaron Dack, official Little League bats given to the boys and girls through the ages of 14 with a paid admission. Make your plans early for the exclusive Angels event, Bat Night at the Big A. Well, Jerry Remy stepping in, opening night at the Kingdome, and a guy who is synonymous with opening night. He pitched in more for the Dodgers than anybody else in their history. Is here for the play-by-play, Don Drysdale.
Thank you very much, Al. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kingdome, 1977, the Angels and the Seattle Mariners. Jerry Remy to lead it off. Remy, little left-handed hitting second baseman, the veteran right-hander Diego Segui on the mound, ready to go. 38 years old, out of Cuba. Right-hander winds, and we're ready to go. First pitch is a strike, and we're underway. The home plate umpire, Bill Haller, at first base is Bill Kunkel, of Ron Luciano at second base, and Ken Kaiser at third. The ball was thrown out to Bill Stein, the third baseman, who took it over and gave it to the owners in the owner's box and president's box, just on the left field side of the Mariners dugout, which is situated on the third base side. Segui delivers the next pitch inside, ball one. Segui losing his cap while throwing. It is 3-16 down both foul lines here, 4-10 to straightaway center field. And the closest we can figure, it's been kind of a tongue-in-cheek routine to the power alleys, but it is approximately 360, maybe give or take a foot or so. Segui delivers the next pitch, a little bit high, ball 2-0. Remy, an excellent spring when he hit an even 300, 27 hits and 90 times at bat. Jerry in his third opening day lineup as an Angel. Segui delivers a 2-0 pitch, a ground ball. Check that fly ball foul right back and up over our head and out into the crowd. And you've just got to be a little loose. That ball hit just up above us, came back through and down and out into the stand. Well, they said it was tough to see, and there's the first tester right there. The ball landed between Al Wisk and myself, and we have not moved yet. 2-2 the count. Segui with a new ball delivers just outside and low. The count 3-2. Remy takes the count full. Al, I don't believe that ball was that close.
It landed on my scorebook. I just watched it go by.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. High ball 4, and Remy becomes the first Angel base runner of 1977, and Diego Segui wants a new cap. Segui getting a cap and kind of screwing it on a little bit every time that he threw. About 2 out of the 4 times the cap came out. Here's Bobby Grich. The infield will set the defense. Stein at third with Reynolds at short. Baez at second base with Meyer at first. The outfield of Braun in left, Jones in center, Leroy Stanton in right, and the battery of Bob Stinson and Diego Segui. Waiting for Remy to tie his shoes, now ready to go. Bobby Grich last year hitting .266, 13 home runs, 54 RBIs. Grich in the spring hit .298. He had 14 hits and 47 times at bat. The infield, they can afford to play back a little bit on the artificial turf. This is not as really a hard an artificial turf as we've seen in the past. A throw to first, and Remy back in time. Close to a capacity house here at the Kingdome in Seattle tonight. They seat at capacity 59,095. Remy away from first. There he goes. A pitch, a strike. The throw through, and they don't get him. The throw just about hit Segui, who went down on the right knee. So Remy picks up a stolen base. Stinson did not find the handle on that well at all. Remy last year with 34 stolen bases on the year, and very quickly the Angels come out and put a man in scoring position. The Angels have had a couple of days to brush off the sting of the Dodgers sweep in the Freeway Series. They have been working out here at the Kingdome for the last couple of days on Monday night and on Tuesday afternoon, and they play for pay tonight. On deck is Bobby Bonds. Segui set at the belt. And the right-hander's next pitch to Grich is fouled back and out of play. The count goes to 0-2. Bobby trying to hit the ball to the right side behind Remy to advance him to third. Braun, the left fielder, is deep and off the line in left. Ruppert Jones slightly in right. Check that left center field with Stanton over in right center. Now they bunch Grich. Segui nodding his head yes. Right-hander sets the pitch to Grich is hit foul by Dave Garcia coaching at third. Over at first base, a veteran Del Crandall. The manager Norm Sherry, who was putting in his able players that were going to play in this opening day lineup here in Seattle for about the last week, trying to get them all healthy, ready to go. He's got them in there tonight. The pitch to Grich inside. It's ball 1-2. Segui comes at you from all angles. He'll throw over the top from the side. He'll throw the fastball, the curveball, slow curve, slider, and scroogey. Segui again set. 1-2 pitch to Grich. Got him swinging on a breaking pitch. Now one man gone, and here's Bobby Bonds. Bonds a good spring at .340 with 17 hits in 50 times at bat. Bobby at 31 years of age, a 6'6", 180-pounder. On deck, Don Baylor. Remy is lead at second base. Bonds, right-hand hitter. Segui set at the belt. The pitch to Bonds. Fastball just outside, ball 1. Segui, kind of a herky-jerky type pitcher. Got that high leg kick a la Juan Marichal. And at times you got to watch him. He'll come at you real quick. He won't lift that leg up that high. Segui ready to go. Next pitch to Bonds. Swung on and missed. The count 1-1. 1 man on, 1 out. A ball and a strike to Bobby Bonds. Segui again set. There goes Remy to third. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw through. Not in time. They don't get him.
Don, do you figure with the fast track that exists here in the Kingdome that we'll see the Angels in this series really taking off and testing Stinson throughout the series?
I would have to say they're going to test Stinson, and mainly because they do have the fast track, Al, and also because Segui takes a long time to get rid of the ball. Remy did not get a good jump. Stinson's throw was there, but Remy still had the play beat easily. Now the count, a ball and 2 strikes, and now they will bring the infield halfway in. The Angels a chance to pick up a run. The count 1-2 to Bobby Bonds. Segui again set. He's working out of the stretch. The pitch to Bonds bounces in the dirt, and a fine save by Stinson.
Also, with the fast nature of this tartan surface over here, this AstroTurf in the Kingdome, don't you think playing in that close is maybe a little bit too close? Because Norm Sherry said he's not going to do that tonight.
Well, it's a little risky, Al. Number one, the ball gets on you in a hurry. Darrell's got him in just behind the baselines. They are not way in front of the baseline, but still, on any artificial turf, that's in pretty close. Segui again set. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging on a breaking pitch. Strike 3.
Now batting for the Angels, number 12, Don Baylor.
Now there's 2 gone. Remy remains at third. The Angels missing an opportunity so far here in the first inning. Here's Don Baylor. Don, 247 average last year, 15 home runs and 68 RBIs, a member of the Oakland A's. Segui set at the belt, checks Remy, pitch to Baylor, breaking pitch, swung on and missed. On deck, Joe Rudi. The infield moves back with 2 outs. Segui still working out of that stretch. The second baseman, Jose Baez, deep and towards the bag at second base. The outfield, it appears that the outfielders will bunch all the hitters. There's a drive down the right field line. He won't get this one. This will go off of the wall. Remy scores. Baylor on his way for 2. They don't pick it up. He'll hold right there. A turn and he gets back to the bag. And the Angels lead it 1-0.
Now coming to the plate, number 26, Joe Rudi.
And Don Baylor, a clutch double off the right field wall, scoring Remy from third with 2 outs. And here's Joe Rudi, and the Angels have a chance to get some more. We mentioned that the Seattle outfielders appear that they will give the double down the line. They will try and take it away up the alley. That is the way you see the majority of outfielders play on the artificial turf. A throw to first base, the appeal play. It is Bill Haller, the home plate umpire, who makes the call, and the right man to make it is Bill Kunkel, standing at first base. The veteran umpire was down the line in right field to make the call. Naturally, his back was to the bag. Bill Haller very alertly watching Baylor. Now Segui working out of the stretch one more time, but getting back to the bunching of the hitters, you just about have to give away either the alley or the line, and you're better off giving away the line. Rudi stands in. The pitch to Joe, outside, ball 1. On deck is Tony Solaita. Rudi, a .270 hitter last year with 13 home runs, 94 RBIs as a member of the Oakland A's, trying to pick up fellow teammate Don Baylor. Teammates last year and again this year. Segui set at the belt. Baylor with his lead at second base. The pitch to Rudi, swung on and missed, strike one. Rudi going the opposite way. And believe you me, it does not take that big a poke to hit it out in right field. The ball carries better to right field and right center than it does to left field and left center. It is 316 down the lines, and as I said before, as close as we can get anyone to tell the truth, about 357 to 360 to the power alleys. They start to go back to second base. Segui just steps out. When they came in and tried to put in the configuration of a baseball park in here, they thought they had a little more room to work with. It is not an oval-shaped stadium. Therefore, something had to give. Right now, it's the power alleys. Segui's next pitch, swung on and missed a breaking pitch in the count, 1-2. Segui trying to get out of it. Baylor checking with his third base coach, Dave Garcia. Baez back deep at second. Reynolds the same at short. Segui checking signs. Now the veteran right-hander sets and steps off. Baylor goes back to the bag. A ball, 2 strikes. Segui, not a fast worker. Now sets. The pitch to Rudi. Checks taken high. The count 2-2. Bill Haller right there to eyeball that one. I still can't believe that foul ball that came back up here through the booth. Yeah, you got to be alive opening night. You got to be ready for anything. 2-2 the count. Segui ready. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Rudi. Got him swinging, strike 3. Strikes out the side, but he gives up a run. A run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. After the first half inning of play, it's the Angels 1. The Seattle Mariners are coming to bat.
See what Chevron can do for you today. See what Chevron can do for you. See what Chevron can do for you today.
Pull up to the pump at any full-service Chevron station and let your Chevron dealer go to work. He'll not only fill up your tank with the right grade of quality Chevron gasoline, he'll check under the hood. If the oil or water is low, he'll bring it right up to par. And if you like, he'll check your battery. And he'll check your tires to make sure they're not too low, not too full, but properly inflated to give you the smoothest ride possible. And finally, he'll wash your windows. That's what Chevron can do for you today, along the Chevron way.
See what Chevron can do for you today, along the Chevron way.
Before we go to the last half of the first inning, let's pause for station identification and salute all the fine folks and good fans in the Riverside, San Bernardino area listening on KPRO on this The Angels Radio Network.
Hi, this is the Winker with a reminder I'm here on KMPC every day, Monday through Saturday, spotlighting the popular music of the day, plus features on the stars who make that music. I'd like you to make it a point to join me, Wink Martindale, each day between noon and 3 on
KMPC Los Angeles.
Frank Tanana continues taking his warm-up tosses. Home plate umpire Bill Haller after that long first inning the Angels had, although they managed to scrape a run, that was it. Giving him a few extra warm-up tosses, and he'll face ex-teammate Dave Collins, a switch-hitting designated hitter for manager Darrell Johnson and the Seattle Mariners. To set the Angel defense, Chalks at third with Grich at short, Remy at second, Solaita at first, Rudi in left, Bochte in center, Bonds in right, and the battery of Terry Humphrey and left-hander Frank Tanana, a 19-game winner last year. Tanana trying to get his game together, has not had really what you'd call the best spring that you would want to have. He delivers a first pitch to Collins, foul back, and the Mariners are underway. Collins comes right off of the bench swinging. He knows Tanana. He knows he's got good control. There's really no need to let him work on you. Collins last year, 263 with California with 4 home runs and 28 RBIs. Tanana again ready to go. Chalk behind the bag at third. Delivers a fastball just inside. Ball one, 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, Jose Baez. Grich deep at short. Remy deep at second. Tanana winds the left-hander's next pitch. Curveball a little bit low, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Jim Busby coaching at third for Seattle. Veda Pinson over at first base. Tanana again ready. Left-hander's next pitch. A change low. Ball 3, 3-1. Tanana has come out in the paper here in Seattle. They asked him how he thought he would do. Made the comment, I think I'll shut him out. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Foul coming back to the screen. The count now moves to 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for Seattle, Dave Collins. Tanana again ready to go. Humphrey sets inside. Fastball, got him looking. Strike 3 call. Now, so far, all the outs that the fans here have seen tonight have been strikeouts. Segui struck out the side. But in between, he led off with a base on balls to Remy, who stole second and third and scored on Baylor's double. Here's Jose Baez, last year at Albuquerque, hitting .309, 4 home runs and 49 RBIs. Baez, little right-hand hitter, hits out of the crouch. Tanana's first pitch drives him back. The count 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Foul coming back to the net, and the count even 1-1. Baez, a 5'9", 150-pounder, purchased out of the Dodger organization in October of '76. Born and still makes his home in San Cristobal, Dominican Republic. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Line drive, base hit, right center field. Bochte over in a hurry to cut it off. Baez, a long turn, gets it back in, and the Mariners have their first base hit.
Now at the plate, number 4, Steve Braun.
Baez, good speed. Last year had 14 stolen bases at Albuquerque. The year before had 26. Here's Steve Braun. And they take that ball out of play. That is the first base hit by a Seattle Mariner. Jose Baez. Line drive single to the right of Jerry Remy. Braun acquired from Minnesota. Tanana out of the stretch. The pitch, a strike with a fastball. The infield, they look for the ground ball and 2. Last year, Steve hit .288 with 3 home runs, 61 RBIs. Good, solid hitter. Left-hand hitter, deep in the box, up on the plate. Tanana goes to first place with an easy toss, and Baez back. Tanana again set. The pitch to Braun, breaking pitch just outside. The count evens at 1, a ball and a strike. Fans here start getting a little anxious, get some hand clapping going. Baez, good speed at first. Braun wearing number 4 on his back of his home whites. Tanana comes to the plate, a ground ball hit to Remy, hard, goes to Grich for 1. Back to Solaita, the double play. Well, Braun hit it on the button. He almost handcuffed Remy. And that double play, Remy to Grich, Solaita 4-6-3, and the side retired. No runs on a hit, no errors, and the Mariners leave nobody. After 1, the Angels 1, the Mariners nothing.
When do you say Budweiser?
Whenever the moment is right for a great beer.
When do you say Budweiser?
Whenever the good times are moving to right here.
After the work is done, while you're still having fun, anytime's the right time to say it. When do you say Budweiser? Bud the beer for any time at all. music's waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
From the Kingdome in Seattle, I'm Don Drysdale with Al Wisk, Dick Enberg, and our producer-engineer Dick Nelson. Happy you've joined us tonight. The Angels on top, 1-0, a run on a hit. We go to the second. Here's Al.
Thanks, Don. Tony Solaita lead off for the California Angels. Top of the second, Diego Segui in the motion and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike one. Tony Solaita hitting .250 this spring. Had a difficulty with strikeouts, 19 strikeouts. Remember, Segui fanned 3 in the first inning. Angels touched him up for a run. Wind up, and the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Strike 2. 38-year-old Diego Segui. Ahead on Tony Solaita, 0-2. Left-hander Solaita waves that bat back and forth. Segui, the full windup and the pitch, missing outside with a fastball. 1-2 to Tony Solaita. Diego Segui, 11-5 with Hawaii last year, 3.18 ERA. He is participating in his 600th Major League game. The pitch, swung on, lifted high into the dome roof. Backing up is Reynolds, the shortstop, calling for it. Look out, he makes the catch. He backed up about 25 feet into the outfield beyond the shortstop position to pull that one home. 1 out for the Angels in their half of the second inning of play. Bruce Bochte to hit. Bochte, left-hand batter, blistered the Cactus League with a .426 average. Bruce ailing the last few games with a cramp in his calf muscle, but he says he's all right, ready to go. The first pitch, a breaking ball that misses inside. 1-0 the count to Bruce Bochte. Diego Segui has the sign from his catcher Stinson. The pitch, swung on, a line drive that's going to be up the power alley. Cutting it off quickly is the right fielder Stanton. He throws into the cutoff man Baez, and Bochte will have to hold with a single. Again, the point that Don Drysdale brought up in the first inning of play. They're playing over toward the power alleys to try and cut it off. You had better get to that ball in a hurry on this rug, because if you don't, a routine single can be turned into an extra base hit rapidly. So Bochte on first, Dave Chalk up. Chalk, .339 in the spring, right-hand hitter. Nailed down that third base job with his hitting and spectacular fielding plays at third. Diego Segui working with a runner at first base, and Bochte got a good-sized lead. The set and the pitch, outside for a ball. The dirt inserts are about 18 feet by 18 feet in this rug. And Bochte is out at the edge right now with about a 13-foot lead. Good-sized lead, especially for a big guy like Bruce. Segui again to the belt. The pitch, swung on and hit to the left side. It is by the outstretched glove of Reynolds. And in the left field, here comes Bochte steaming into third. He'll hold. Chalk holds at first. Runners at the corners for the Angels. So California with 1 run in the first inning, threatening to add more to that, as Dave Chalk singling on the ground past the outstretched glove of Reynolds at short. And now runners at first and third. And Terry Humphrey stepping in. Humphrey having difficulty getting on track at the plate this year with a 194 average down in Arizona in Palm Springs. Terry, big right-hand hitter. Runners at first and third. 1 out. Segui to the belt and the plate. Down low for a ball with a fastball. 1-0 the count to Terry Humphrey, who looks down at third base coach Dave Garcia, flashes him the signs. Dale Crandall coaching at first base. Jerry Remy in the on-deck circle. Diego Segui has the sign, the glove to the belt, checks the runners, works the plate. Up high and outside for a ball. Looked almost like a pitch out. Dave chalked the runner at first base. Bruce Bochte at third. Angels lead 1-0. Top of the second. 1 out. Terry Humphrey at the plate. Segui again works. A line drive right back to the box off the leg of Segui. They go to second base. Safe is Chalk, and the run scores. Bochte scoring from third. It was a low liner off the leg of Segui that skidded to the second baseman Baez. He went over to the shortstop Reynolds at second for the attempted force on Chalk, but it was not in time. So the Angels now lead 2-0 and have runners at first and second. Top of the order now, up and Jerry Remy. Remy with a walk, couple of stolen bases, and scored on Baylor's double in the first. 2-0 Angels. 1 out, top of the second. Diego Segui working against the left-hand hitting Jerry Remy. Jerry also with a hot spring. Runners edge off, good size lead. Segui works the play, swung on and missed. Three straight singles by Bochte, Chalk, and Humphrey have produced a run. Diego Segui, 38 years of age. To the belt and the plate. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Stinson blocks that one. Outfield on Remy, the left-hand hitter, shaded around toward left. They don't figure him to pull. Infield medium depth. The 0-2 pitch from Segui. In the dirt. Nice block by Stinson. No advance by the runners. Count goes to 1-2 on Jerry. Remy generally a slow starter, but he had a hot spring this year. And last year for California, a .263 hitter. 2 home runs this spring, by the way. Segui in, checking for the sign. The slow set. And the pitch. Swung on, tap to the right side. Coming to the first baseman, Meyer. He will take it by himself. Almost hesitated and tried to figure out whether he was going to flip to Segui. Waved him off and said, "I'll take it." And they got the out at first base in Remy, and the runners advanced to second and third. And now Bobby Grich at the plate. Bobby, one of the 3 strikeouts that Segui has through 2 innings. Hit .298 this spring. Right-hand hitter, close stance. Working on holding that bat a little lower than he has in past years. Hopes it helps him get to the ball quicker. Wait longer on the curveball. Breaking ball in the outside corner for a called strike. Diego Segui, the last time that he faced the Angels was back in the spring. 8 strikeouts. A lot of people have watched him this year, a little suspicious of one pitch he throws, say that it's his spitter. He says, no, it's a forkball. Up high for a ball. 1-1. Dave chalked the runner at third base. Terry Humphrey at second. 2 outs. Top of the second. Angels lead 2-0. Bobby Grich at the plate. Diego Segui serves up the 1-1 pitch. Down low and inside for a ball. 2-1. The Angels 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors. The Mariners, no runs, 1 hit. Runners edge off. Chalk at third. Humphrey, good size lead at second. The pitch is swung on, a long fly ball that is hit to right field, but backing up and making the catch going away is Stanton. About 2 steps from the track. And the Angels are gone in their half of the second. But they pick up a run on 3 hits. They leave a couple, and at the end of 1.5 innings of play, the score, the Angels 2, the Mariners nothing.
If you can't fly continental, you might as well not fly. If you can't fly continental, we'll miss you in the sky. If you can't fly continental, we'll treat you the way we do. If you can't fly continental, who's gonna move their tail for you?
If you can't fly a Continental wide-body DC-10, you'll be missing something. Like the only coach club in the sky on our mainland flights. You'll miss film concerts of some of today's top music makers, comedy and sports films, all at no extra cost. Plus, exciting electronic pub quad. If you can't fly Continental, we'll be missing something too. You.
If you can't fly Continental, who's gonna lose their tail for you?
Continental has 5 non-stop DC-10 flights to Chicago at 9, 12, 3, and 6, and late night. The Coach Pub is on all mainland DC-10s, excluding Hawaii through service. Call your travel agent or Continental. Last of the second, 2-0 Angels. To lead off for the Mariners, Lee Stanton, Bill Stein, Danny Meyer. Frank Tanana on the mound for California. Tanana coming off a spring that was not spectacular. A 2-1 record with a 6.00 ERA. He gave up 6 home runs to lead the Angels pitching staff in that rather dubious category. His second straight opener for Frank Tanana. And Lee Stanton, the ex-Angel, at the plate. Lee checking down at third base for the sign from third base coach Jim Busby, and Veda Pinson, the coach over at first. Another ex-member of the Angel organization. Outfield on Stanton, they know him well. They're deep, swung around toward left. Tanana peering in for the sign. The full windup, here's the pitch. Breaking ball that misses low and inside. 1-0 the count to Lee Stanton. Lee in the spring, a .354 hitter. But had some difficulty with strikeouts. Fanned 16 times. Tanana, the pitch. Swung on, hit to the left side. It is by the outstretched glove of Bobby Grich. Here comes Stanton. He's going to try for 2. The throw. He is out of there. Lee Stanton trying to test the arm. Trying to test that arm of Joe Rudi, and that was not too wise to do. Tried to stretch that single into a double, and Rudi cut him down. So Bill Stein up, but nobody on. 1 down. Tanana delivers. Breaking ball, waved at and missed by Stein. Reaction you heard booing the instant replay that they have over here on that call at second base. Inside with a fastball, 1-1. Bill Stein waits on the 1-1 pitch. Fastball outside, 2-1. Stein, 348 in the spring. That's the best spring training period he's ever had in his career. Playing at third base tonight for Seattle. The delivery from Frank. Swung on a long fly ball that is hit deep and off the wall in the power alley in right center. A quick throw into the infield. Grich has it. And holding at second is Stein with a double. Ball reacting well here in the Kingdome. There was some concern about how it would carry. But it has literally been flying off the bat the last 3 days in batting practice and moving pretty well in this game, too. Danny Meyer, the ex-Tiger, will step in now for the Mariners. Bill Stein on with a double. 1 out. Frank Tanana with a 2-0 lead. Last of the second. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. And you can tell this is the first game. The scoreboard operator a little bit slow catching up to the count. Danny Meyer, left-hand hitter. Tanana to the belt. Checks the runner, works the play, breaking ball outside and low, and Humphrey blocks nicely. 1-1 to count to Danny Meyer, who in the spring hit .381. 3 home runs, 15 RBIs for Meyer in spring training. The pitch from Tanana, waved at and missed. Count goes to 1-2. Someone over 55,000 here for the regular season opener in the American League between the Angels and the Mariners. Frank Tanana to the belt and the plate. Swung on, and a dribbler down that first baseline that goes foul. Meyer hot-footing it down to first, but it dribbled foul as Tanana fielded it about 3 inches in foul territory. Count holds at 1-2. That is a fast track down there on this artificial surface. It's actually an AstroTurf surface, the short tufted blades, in contrast to the tartan turf which you'll find over at Royal Stadium. The players, the Angels at least, are using regular spikes. They find that gives them better traction than the short rubber cleats. Bill Stein, the runner, edging off at second. Tanana, the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Meyer goes down swinging, and Ruppert Jones will move in. Ruppert, a product of the Kansas City Royals organization, very highly regarded by that club. Sorry to see him picked up in the expansion draft, but they had so many good players that they could not protect everybody. Jones with a closed stance, crouches over, left-hand hitter. Tanana works the plate. A fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. It was Ruppert Jones who introduced himself rather rudely to Frank Tanana when Frank saw action against the Mariners in spring training. Hit a 1-0 pitch, 410 feet away for a home run. A check swing tapper back to the screen, and the count goes to 0-2. He really unloaded on that ball as he hit it against a very stiff breeze in Palm Springs. He led the Mariners with 4 home runs during the spring, 18 RBIs. Playing in center field. Tanana to the belt, the 0-2 pitch. Just low. Frank thought he had it. 1-2. Ruppert Jones, .262 last year with Omaha, 19 home runs, 73 RBIs. He says this year I'll hit 20 home runs in the American League. The 1-2 pitch from Tanana, swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Ruppert Jones goes down on strikes, and the Mariners don't pick up a run in their half of the second. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left on. At the end of 2, the Angels 2, the Mariners nothing.
Imagine for a minute that you're standing next to a beautiful, gleaming 1977 Chevrolet Chevelle. Handsome, isn't it? Now, let's walk around it and see if you can guess its price. This Chevelle Malibu coupe has a coach window and a formal coupe roofline. It has fiberglass radial tires. It has full coil suspension, front disc brakes, soft carpets, hidden windshield wipers, and dozens of other features to make it a very complete mid-size car. Now, what do you think is the price of this Chevelle? It's not $6,000, not $5,000. It's $4,276. That's manufacturer's suggested retail price, including dealer preparation and required California equipment. Tax, license, destination charge, and available equipment additional. $4,276. Beautiful price. Beautiful car. The smart, complete, mid-size Chevrolet Chevelle.
We played 2 at the Kingdome. The Angels lead 2-0 over the Mariners. Top of the third, Bobby Bonds, Don Baylor, Joe Rudi to face Diego Segui. This, incidentally, the very first game played underneath a roof in the American League. First game in the Dome Stadium. Bobby Bonds leaning and waiting on right-handed Diego Segui. Bond struck out back in the first inning of play. He twists and delivers, swung on and lifted high against that dome roof. Calling for it is Stanton in right field. Shades under it and makes the catch. And to show you how treacherous things are out there, moving all the way out to sort of back him up was Baez, the second baseman. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
And I'm Bob Steinbrink, part of the largest news staff of any radio station in Southern California. Our experienced reporters are backed by 2 helicopters, an airplane, a dozen mobile units, and exclusive news sources around the world. Dial 710 and keep up to date on KMPC Los Angeles.
One out for the Angels, top of the third. Don Baylor at the plate. Segui delivers. Misses outside for a ball. 1-0 to Don Baylor. Don hoping to get off to a fast start this year, knowing full well that he has never done that previously in his career because of one reason or the other. The pitch up high, ball 2. Last year it was a bad hand for the first couple of months of the 1976 season. The month of April is traditionally Baylor's slowest month. He heats up in June, July, and August. A breaking ball that misses low. 3-0 to Don Baylor. Joe Rudi on deck. Diego Segui, 13 years in the majors, 92 and 104 his total record, a 3.68 ERA in his career. The pitch, low and on the inside corner for a strike. Baylor half-heartedly taking that first step to first base, but he's called back by home plate umpire Bill Haller. The 3-1 pitch, up high, ball 4. So Baylor on with a walk, and Joe Rudi will step up. Boys and girls to the age of 15 are invited to join the Junior Angels. 10 games, a signed souvenir baseball, official Angels decal, all for only $3. Applications at participating Chevron stations and at Anaheim Stadium. Joe Rudi, back in the first inning of play, one of the strikeout victims of Diego Segui. Remember, Baylor can fly. Over 50 stolen bases last year. Got a good-sized lead. The pitch up high and outside for a ball. And he is to the edge of that carpet where the dirt meets the carpet, and that is considered a pretty fair lead. It's about 13, maybe 14 feet away from the line. Outfield playing Rudi deep and straight away. Segui to the belt and the plate. Swung on a long fly ball to left field. Kiss it goodbye. Home run. No doubt about it. Joe Rudi reaching the seats here in the third. It is 4-0 Angels. And that Angel dugout on their feet as they greet Joe and Max.
Tony Solaita.
Rudi homering with Don Baylor on. It is 4-0 Angels. And Tony Solaita at the plate. The first pitch, a breaking ball that is lined over the outstretched glove of the second baseman, Baez. Making a turn is Solaita, but he'll hold on. As the Angels here through the first 3 innings have hung an albatross around the neck of the ancient Mariner Diego Segui. 4 runs, and we've yet to complete 3 innings. Bruce Bochte, who had that blistering spring and picked up where he left off prior to his injury with a single back in the second now at the plate. Runner on first base, and Tony Solaita doesn't figure to go anyplace. The pitch, waved at and missed, strike 1. Bochte, the only time that he saw Segui in the spring, had no trouble whatsoever hitting him. Waits on the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. John Montague starting to heat up in the Mariner bullpen down the left field line. as Diego Segui has been touched up for 4. Segui looking in for the sign from Bob Stinson. Solaita edging off at first. Swung on, fouled back to the screen. Diego Segui, lifetime against the Angels, 8-5, a 2.51 ERA. But some measure of difficulty here in the Kingdome. Bochte waits on the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and lined over second base. It is speared by the shortstop Reynolds. He goes back to first, but his throw pulls Meyer off the bag. Nice play by Reynolds at short, right behind the bag, stuck up the glove, speared it, fired quickly to first base, but the throw was up the line and pulled Meyer off the bag, so they missed the shot at the double play.
Number 7, third baseman, Dave Chalk.
2 outs for the Angels. Solaita holds at first base. Dave Chalk stepping in. The pitch. Down low for a ball. 1-0 to Dave Chalk. This is the largest opening night crowd in baseball history. They established that by the tickets that they had sold prior to the start of the game, 52,000. The previous high was set in St. Louis a few years ago. The pitch. Swung on and lifted high into center field. Calling for it is Ruppert Jones. He moves over into left center, puts up the glove, and makes the catch. And the Angels are gone in their half of the third. But not before they pick up 2 runs on a hit and leave 1. At the end of 2.5, the Angels 4, the Mariners nothing.
If your car is showing signs of bouncing or swaying all over the road, your Chevron dealer can check your shock absorbers. If they're leaking, if the mountings are loose or broken, if the bushings are worn. In short, if your shocks are shot.
See what Chevron can do for you today. See what Chevron can do for you.
Stop by most any Chevron station for a new set of quality Atlas shock absorbers. Atlas shocks have a working cylinder built with tough, all-welded steel construction for long life. Shocks with lower mounts that are triple welded for strength and dependability. Chevron has the Atlas shock absorbers that are right for your car.
See what Chevron can do for you today along the Chevron way.
First game played in the regular season by the Seattle Mariners and the California Angels. It's been a rude christening so far for the Kingdome. The Angels have scored 4 runs through 2.5. Last of the third, Bob Stinson, Craig Reynolds, Dave Collins to hit for the Mariners. Frank Tanana, who said he shut out the Mariners the 2 times he faces them in this series, delivers an off-speed pitch that is waved at and missed by Stinson, strike 1. Budweiser invites you to visit the Busch Bird Sanctuary in Van Nuys, now through April 10th, to see the 32 thundering hooves of the world-famous Budweiser Clydesdale team. The 0-1 pitch from Tanana swung on and missed, strike 2. And afterwards, sit back and sample their cargo. The King of Beers. Admission is free, so take the whole family. The Budweiser Clydesdale team, the Busch Bird Sanctuary, open daily now through April 10th. Frank Tanana head on Stinson. 0-2. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3 on a breaking ball. Stinson, incidentally, hitting right-handed. He's a switch hitter, and he traditionally has difficulty from that side of the plate. He's gone on strikes, and Craig Reynolds to hit. Tanana, in the 2 previous innings, giving up no runs, 3 hits. Craig Reynolds at the plate. Looks at a breaking ball down low. 1-0 at Charleston last year, 290, 2 home runs, 47 RBIs. Played a bit for Pittsburgh, hit 250. Came with Jimmy Sexton from Pittsburgh in a trade for Grant Jackson. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Ex-Angel Dave Collins on deck. The full windup by Tanana and the pitch. A bunt down that third baseline. It goes foul. So Craig Reynolds, who got off quickly down to first base, have to pick up his bat, step back in. As you know, you really have to know what you're doing when you bunt on the artificial turf, because you don't get much help from the surface in deadening that ball. The pitch from Tanana. Missing outside. Count goes to 2-2. The story with the Mariners in spring training, a lot of hitting, not very much pitching. The 2-2 pitch is fouled back to the screen. Their average .331, but their combined ERA 8.30. And a lot of people pointed out that they were really digging in spring training, and you can't expect the pitchers, now that regular season is here, to allow them to do that during the course of the year. The 2-2 pitch, up high for a ball. Full count. Reynolds hit it a .333 clip in the spring. The full count pitch, a sort of a half swing, and it's by Tanana, and over the bag and into center field for a base hit. Bochte has it quickly, throws into Grich at second base, and holding at first is Craig Reynolds with a single. Sort of a half swing. That was by Frank Tanana, hopping right over the mound, and out into center field for the base hit. And now Dave Collins up. Collins called out on strikes back in the first. And the projector scoreboard out above the left field stands, flashing charge for the Mariner fans. 4-0 Angels, last of the third. Tanana's curveball is up high. 1-0 to Reynolds. Check that, Collins. Frank Tanana, the set and the pitch. Swung on a fly ball that is lifted high and foul down that left field line. Hot footing it over there is Chalk, but he cannot catch up to it, as it falls in play, but beyond Dave Chalk, and rapidly fouling him over, Joe Rudi. Long strike to Dave Collins. Frank Tanana with a man out, a man on. That's Craig Reynolds over at first base. Reynolds not a base stealer, but a guy at the plate with good speed. And he had .360 at Salt Lake City last year, .263 at California. That's Dave Collins. Swung on, back to Tanana. He gloves it. He throws over to first base, and they get the double play on the line drive right back to Frank Tanana. Way off the bag was Reynolds, and the Mariners are gone in their half of the third. At the end of three, the score remains the Angels 4, the Mariners nothing.
When do you say Budweiser?
Whenever the moment is right for a great beer.
When do you say Budweiser?
Right after a great play at the old ballpark.
One of my favorite times, too. But I'll tell you, any time that's right for a beer. Is perfect for Bud.
The smile on your face tells the world what you're thinking. 'Cause when you say Budweiser, the #1 beer is what you'll be drinking after the work is done. While you're still having fun, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser,
Oh, Bud, here!
you said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Top of the fourth, 4-0 Angels. Terry Humphrey to lead off. Humphrey will be followed by Jerry Remy and Bobby Grich. The Angels with a run in the first, a run in the second, and 2 runs in the third, and a 2-run homer by Joe Rudi. Diego Segui rocks in motion the pitch. On the outside corner with a fastball at the letters for a strike. Humphrey with a single. Back in the second inning. Infield single by Terry. Hits it to the right side and through Dan Meyer, who tried to one-hop it wide of the bag. We'll see how they score that. Meyer was right there, but it went right through his legs and into right field. It'll be scored an error.
Number 2, Angels, Jerry Remy.
And Humphrey is on first. At the plate, Jerry Remy. Jerry with a walk back in the first. Out unassisted to the first baseman. Meyer back in the second. Hitting in the top of the fourth, 4-0 Angels. Nobody out. A runner on first base in Humphrey. Signs being flashed by Dave Garcia, the third base coach. Diego Segui looking in for the sign. Remy waits. The delivery is bunted down the first baseline. Segui off the mound. He'll field it. The sacrifice works as he throws out Remy at first base, and advancing to second is Terry Humphrey. So 1 out and a runner now in scoring position in Humphrey. Bobby Grich at the plate. Grich struck out on the first, flied out to right in the second. Bobby gave everybody a scare during spring training with that back injury that he incurred carrying his air conditioner 200 feet, but he's all set, ready to go, and you should have seen some of the plays he made in spring training at shortstop. A lot of scouts brought up the fact, or pointed up their opinion. They didn't think Grich could play shortstop, but you wouldn't guess it from the way that he has performed in the spring. Off-speed pitch is up high for a ball to Bobby. 1-0. He has been spectacular. Infield back on Grich. Outfield deep and straight away. The pitch. Down low and blocking is Stinson. Humphrey, the runner at second base. 1 out. Diego Segui, who is down 4-0, peers in for the sign. The stretch and the pitch. In for a strike. Two and 1 the count to Bobby Grich. And again, Bill Haller correcting the scoreboard out in left field. 2-1 pitch, swung on, lifted high on the infield. Remember, it's treacherous. Moving over is the third baseman, Stein. He makes the catch about 20 feet in foul territory, even with the bat. 2 outs for the Angel, and Humphrey holds at second. Bobby Bonds to hit.
Right fielder Bobby Bonds stepping in. Number 25, Bobby
Bonds struck out in the first, flied out in the third. It was against Seattle that Bobby Bonds injured his ankle. When the throw got away at second base, Bonds made the decision in mid-slide to pull up and try to go to third. And that was a wrong move because he twisted his ankle, hopped out into center field where he subsequently was tagged. First pitch bends him back for a ball. If it hadn't been for the injury, it would have been a comic scene because here's Bobby Bonds hopping out into center field because of the injury, and the Mariner fielder hopping right behind him trying to tag him. Swung on, hit to the left side. It is fielded on 3 hops by Reynolds. He fires high, and safe at first base is Bobby Bonds. He had the time. He straightened up and he threw, but it was high. Leaping off the bag was Meyer, and safe at first is Bobby Bonds. Score that E6. Couple of errors for the Mariners, who made 8 in one game in spring training, which is to be expected with an expansion team. And now runners are at first and third, both on errors. Bonds with a big lead. The pitch is up high for a ball. And again, John Montague heating up in the bullpen down the left field line here in the Kingdome. Segui with 2 outs, runners at first and third. The pitch. Bonds goes, the throw down to second base. He is in there. He had a big lead and a good jump. And as Don Drysdale pointed out, Segui has that high kick. That enables the runners to get the big lead. So Bonds now at second. Humphrey holds at third. The count 2-0. 2 outs, top of the fourth. Diego Segui, runners in scoring position. Down already 4-0. Baylor waiting. Holding that bat out from his back shoulder. Twirling it around in a tight circle. Waiting on the 2-0 pitch. Segui works the plate. Swung on and lifted high and foul down the left field line. Coming hard is the left fielder. He cannot make the catch as Braun bent over and could not get there in time. Now let's point out something about the setup here at the Kingdome. The mounds in the bullpen down the right field line, it's just a foot away from the line. Down the left field line, it's about 3 or 4 feet away. And Norm Sherry was particularly irritated by that fact and said they've got to move those things in as the season progresses. That's just plain dangerous. Well, as Braun was moving over to try and flag down that foul fly off the bat of Baylor, he had some difficulty in negotiating around that mound. The 2-1 pitch. Did it hit him? No, it didn't. Just got away from Stinson. Count goes to 3-1. Baylor crowds the plate, and last year was hit more times than any other player in the American League. 20 times. And that was 10 more than anybody else. Runners holding at second and third. The count now 3-1 to Don Baylor. 2 outs, 4-0 Angels. Segui sets and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 3-2 the count to Baylor. Don with a double in the first, a walk in the third. And when he faced Segui this spring, had a couple of hits off him. Diego looking in for the sign. And now finally, too much time taken, and Stinson wants to go out and talk to Segui. Perhaps a mix-up as to what he was signaling out to him. Now they've straightened out, and Bob is back behind the plate. Mariners in the home white uniforms with gold and blue trim. The Angels in the gray road uniforms with the red numerals and the dark navy blue trim. The 3-2 pitch. Down low, ball 4, and Segui has loaded them up. And now Wes Stock, the pitching coach for the Mariners, slowly moving out, and he signals he wants a new pitcher. It'll be John Montague stepping in. So for Diego Segui, He leaves here in the top of the fourth, having given up 4 runs, and is responsible for the 3 men on base right now. Baylor at first, Bonds at second, and Terry Humphrey at third base. John Montague makes the long walk in from the left field bullpen. We have a chance to remind you that Angel Baseball is brought to you by Continental Airlines, proud bird with a golden tail. You can't fly Continental Chicago, Denver, or Houston. Try to have a nice trip anyway. Nice hand for Diego Segui. He now runs off the mound and into the Mariners dugout. They remember him from 1969 when he was the MVP for the Seattle Pilots. A star in an otherwise dismal year. 12-6 his record, 3.36 ERA. But now he leaves, makes way for John Montague. John, a 29-year-old right-hand pitcher, 6'2", 205, in Oklahoma City in 1976, 14-6, a 2.65 ERA. He was purchased by the Mariners from the Philadelphia Phillies organization. He's got a good strikeouts to walk ratio, 120 strikeouts last year, only 51 walks, 6 shutouts, 11 complete games. And a bit of trivia for you. Walter Yaus, who is now a scout for the Angel organization, signed John Montague for Baltimore. And if he's not concerned already with the bases loaded, he's got to be a little bit nervous now before these 55,000 Seattle fans. Pitching with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and Joe Rudi at the plate. Joe responsible for 2 runs in the third on a 2-run homer that there was no doubt about. Buried it in the left field stands 1 inning ago. Rudi waits, close stance, the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Montague pushing the fastball by him. John takes off the cap, wipes the perspiration from his brow, looks in for the sign, rocks and delivers. Swung on a line drive that is hit up the power alley. It'll drop and go to the wall. Here's 1 run in. Humphrey is in. Here comes Bonds. He waves Baylor in. The front of the plate. He is out of there. Bobby Bonds somewhat optimistic in waving home Don Baylor, because the throw was right on the money. Stinson caught it, put the tag down, and the Angels are gone, but not before they pick up 2 more runs. And at the end of 3.5, the score now, the Angels 6 and the Mariners nothing.
You can't fly Continental. We won't be flying with you. You'll miss that bump in the sky up high. We'll miss you up there too. You'll miss our movie show too. The music, concerts, and sports, the shorts, and all our smiling crew. Who's gonna treat you like we do? Who's gonna move their tail for you? Time to say bye-bye to you. Time to take off and fly, bye-bye. Wish you were going to, if you can't fly Continental.
Continental has the most direct flights to Houston, 13 daily, including 4 DC-10s. Last of the 4th, 6-0. California. And leading off for the Seattle Mariners' Jose Baez, Steve Braun to follow, and then Lee Stanton. For Diego Segui, he pitched 3 2/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 5 hits, 3 walks. He struck out 3. Frank Tanana has pitched shutout ball, and now working in the 4th. Swung on, hit to the left side, ranging wide as chalk. He gloves it, fires to first, and they got it. Baez grounding out the 3rd, and Steve Braun to step in. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
This is Dick Whittinghill with a suggestion. When the game is over, just leave your dial set to 710. That way you won't miss a thing, and you'll be waking up tomorrow with me. That's the Dick Whittinghill Show every morning on KMPC.
KMPC Los Angeles.
First pitch from Tanana, called strike and a fastball. Braun hit into a double play back in the 1st. Frank winds and delivers outside, another fastball. 1-1 to Steve Braun. Braun stationed at left field. He and Collins will trade places between left field and designated hitter throughout the season. The left-hander's pitch is lined by the outstretched glove of Tanana in the center field base hit. That's the 5th hit off of Frank. And now the runner at first, 1 man gone. Lee Stanton, the ex-Angel, to hit.
Mariner, number 36. Lee Stanton.
Stanton selected in the 4th round from California. Back in 1975, you will remember, he led the Angels with 14 home runs, 82 RBIs, a couple of grand slams. 6'1", 200-pound right-hand hitter. The first pitch from Tanana, a fastball right across for a strike. Stanton singled in the 2nd, but was thrown out trying to stretch it to a double by Joe Rudi. On the inside corner for a called strike 2. Defensively for the Angels, Rudi in left, Bochte in center, Bonds in right, Chalk at 3rd, Grich at short, Remy at 2nd, Solaita at 1st, Humphrey behind the plate, Frank Tanana on the mound. Runner edges off, Tanana to the belt of the plate. It is swung on and tapped foul. And the count holds at 0-2. Lee Stanton, part of perhaps the best deal the Angels ever made in obtaining Nolan Ryan and that Jim Fregosi deal. Inside were a ball with a fastball. Out now, 1-2. Bill Stein on deck. Tanana works the plate, swung on and missed. Stanton down on strikes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts for Frank Tanana.
Bill Stein.
And Bill Stein, who hit .348 this spring and doubled to right center, back in the 2nd, steps into the batter's box. Close stance, right-hand hitter. Curveball by Tanana, bends across and catches the inside corner at the belt for a strike. 0-1 to Stein. Infield playing him back. Outfield deep. Swung around toward left. This one pushes him back, 1-1. Stein, a first-round pick from Chicago with the White Sox, 268, 4 home runs, 36 RBIs. The 1-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch is lifted foul off of first base. Here comes Solaita. He bends back, falls down, makes the catch. Now remember, the roof will give them trouble. It's gray, the natural color of the surface. And Solaita had trouble finding it, but he caught up to it, fell down, made the catch, and the Mariners are gone in their half of the 4th. At the end of 4 complete, the score, the Angels 6, the Mariners nothing.
Imagine 1 cubic foot, a solid square 1 foot high, 1 foot wide, 1 foot deep. Now imagine 5 cubic feet. Based on the U.S. government's 1977 estimates of new vehicle interior size, that's how much more room you get inside the new Chevrolet than you get in the older style full-size cars still being sold by Chevrolet's nearest sales competitor. That's the U.S. government estimate as reported in the 1977 EPA guide for new car buyers. You get 5 more cubic feet of room inside the new Chevrolet. Because room is important, America, and Chevrolet wants to bring you more.
That's more like it. Yes, that's more like it. Now that's more like it. That's much more like it. The new Chevrolet. Now that's more like
it. 6-0 Angels. Top of the 5th. Here's Dick Enberg.
Thank you, Al. The Kingdome in Seattle. Well over 55,000 fans, but they've been disappointed thus far. The Angels have scored in every inning. 6 runs, 6 hits for the Halos. No runs, 5 hits, a couple of errors for the Mariners. John Montague, right-hander, delivers. It's high ball 1. Tony Solaita, Bruce Bochte, and Dave Chalk in the Angel 5th inning. Solaita, a single and 2 trips. Montague kicks and deals, and it swung on and missed. Solaita out in front of that one. It's 1-1. Set the defense again for you. Bill Stein at third. Craig Reynolds, a shortstop for the Mariners, with Jose Baez and Dan Meyer on the right side of the infield. Braun, Jones, and Stanton left to right in the outfield. They're deep toward right. The catcher, Bob Stinson. The pitch is swung on, hit high and foul off to the left, up over the speakers and into the lower deck. It's been surprising how few foul balls have gone into the crowd tonight. The Kingdome triple-decked. Capacity for baseball, 59,095. There are few empty seats deep in the right center field upper deck. The Angels got a run in the first, another in the second, and they've rolled 2s in the 3rd and 4th frames. The wind, the 1-2 pitch. High, a fastball. The big man in the Angel attack tonight. Their new left fielder, Joe Rudi, a 2-run homer and a bases-loaded double to score 4 runs. The pitch, down low and inside with a breaking ball. 3-2 now to Solaita. First inning, the first run here in the Kingdome scored when Remy walked, stole second, stole third, and with 2 outs, Baylor doubled him home. The Angels got another in the second, a 1-out single by Bochte, hit-and-run single by Chalk, and a fielder's choice from Terry Humphrey. Swing and a bouncer off home plate, charged by Baez, handles a tricky hop and gets him on a close play. That was the carpet kangaroo shot by Solaita. Hit home plate, and then it hit about halfway to second base, and Baez didn't know where that ball would go, and he had to leap a bit to one-handed and throw out Solaita. 1 away. The Angels got 2 more in the 3rd. A leadoff walk to Baylor, and Rudi rammed one deep into the lower deck in left field, his first home run of the spring. He saved it for a good time, and the Angels led 4-0. And then a couple of errors and a walk loaded the bases for the Angels in the 4th. Segui left, and Montague was greeted by a 2-run double by Rudi. High to Bruce Bochte, and the count goes 2-0. Tomorrow night, Enrique Romo against Nolan Ryan in Game 2 of this 5-game series. The Angels then go to Oakland for 4 and are back home a week from Friday. Their home opener against these same Seattle Mariners. The pitch is a fastball poured in there for a strike. 2-1. Our broadcast location here in Seattle, high into the second deck on the third base side. Swing and a foul. That one got Bill Haller. Well, that makes the season official. The umpire gets a foul tip, and it's 2-2. We understand that after that play involving Lee Stanton, when he singled and tried to stretch it into a double, a close play at second, and Stanton called out. They replayed it on the TV monitor here at the Kingdome, and the fans thought they saw safe and booed. The pitch is high, and it's 3-2. That Commissioner Bowie Kuhn reportedly has asked that they do not replay any more close ones on television. you can understand if that were allowed to go full impact, you might have some problems. High ball 4. Bochte looked at a fastball upstairs. Can you imagine some of those folks in Yankee Stadium, New York, if there were 4 or 5 close calls that all went against the Yankees and all were replayed? I mean, look what they did on a happy moment when Chambliss hit his home run to win the American League playoffs. You had thought the way they treated Chambliss going around the bases that he had just broken out of prison. Bochte has a good lead. Meyer holding him on. The pitch is on the outside corner to Dave Chalk. Strike 1. The walk to Bochte, the first given up by Montague in relief of Segui, who went 3 2/3 innings, allowed 6 runs, 4 earned, 5 hits, walked 3, struck out 3. Chalk is 1 for 2 tonight. Right-handed batter, Montague delivers. Swing and a fly ball sliced foul. That'll become a souvenir downstairs in the right field corner. Back about 20 rows. Well, they've done a great job here in Seattle. Ted Bosefield's crew in the Kingdome and readying things for this grand opening. And we're assured of one record, the largest opening night crowd to ever see a Major League game. The pitch. Swing, a check swing roller to the right side. Meyer gets it, flips it to Montague in time for the out. And on to second goes Bochte. Chalk was trying to get out of the way of the inside pitch. The bat hit the ball and rolled weakly to the right side. 3-1 put out. Bochte in scoring position. And Terry Humphrey, the catcher, is the batter. Humphrey knocked in a run in the second with his fielder's choice. It was a shot back through the middle that hit Segui, the pitcher, and carried him to second. Baez, the second baseman, had the out at first, elected to go to second base for the force. Close play was not in time. Chalk was safe, so was Humphrey. Humphrey credited with a fielder's choice and an RBI. Terry was safe on an error in the fourth and scored. Looks at a strike. 0-1. Terry, number 9 in red on his back. Angels 6, Mariners nothing. Top of the 5th inning. 2 outs and Bochte in scoring position. Montague straightens, sets, and delivers. Swinging a line drive, right field, base hit. Stanton over to cut it off on one hop. Bochte turns third and scores. It's 7-0 Angels. As the Halos have thrown a run up on that big scoreboard in every inning as Humphrey delivers a solid 2-out single into right field. His second RBI. So the walk to Bochte pays off. And with 2 outs, the Angels bring up their leadoff man, Jerry Remy. To give you an indication how busy the Angel hitters have been, this is the 5th inning, and Remy is up for the 4th time. He's 0 for 1 officially. Swings and grounds it foul. Rolls that one into the Angel dugout. To be accurate, the Angels and Mariners are not in a dugout. They are on the field level. In fact, they're maybe a foot above the field level. Inside is Montague. It's 1-1. Located a bit closer to home plate than the Anaheim Stadium dugouts. And you just walk out and you're right on the field. The 1-1 pitch. Remy swings and grounds it to Meyer. He's got it at the bag, tags the bag, and the inning is over. A run on a hit and a man left, and at the halfway mark in this opener at the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington, it's the California Angels 7 and the Seattle Mariners nothing. Well, you heard him on our pregame chat. Danny Kaye, one of the owners of the Seattle Mariners, will throw out the very first ball. Commissioner Bowie Kuhn will be there to welcome Danny and the new Seattle Mariners to the American League. We'll have music by the Cracker Jack Santa Ana Winds Band, awards to Angels Joe Rudi, Frank Tanana, Bobby Grich, and Nolan Ryan. Opening night at the Big A just around the corner, 1 week from Friday night, April 15th. And we hope you're planning to be with us for all the festivities, beginning with music at 7:30. Game time for that night only will be a half hour later, 8 o'clock. The entire evening is dedicated to the Anaheim Chamber of Commerce, and Nolan Ryan figures to be the Angels starting pitcher according to the current rotation. So why don't you join us for the home opener Friday, April 15th. Tickets on sale from 9 until 5:30 daily at the Anaheim Stadium box office and a Ticketron at Sears, the Broadway, and Montgomery Ward stores. You also may charge tickets on MasterCharge or Bank Americard by calling area 714-634-1300. Bottom of the fifth inning, Frank Tanana will face Dan Meyer, Ruppert Jones, and Bob Stinson. Meyer struck out swinging his first time up. Left-hander against left-hander. Tanana, who boasted before the game he would throw a shutout, has kept them scoreless through 4. Lefty kicks and deals. Fastball on the outside corner. 0-1. Meyer, an excellent spring with the Mariners, hitting .381. Left-handed batter up on the handle. Where's number 7? The pitch. Curveball grounded sharply to first. Solaita has it. He races to the bag in time for the out. That ball tricky only in that it left the carpet hit the infield dirt area around first base. And Solaita kept that glove hugging the carpet and made the play of that skidding ground ball. 1 out. The Mariners have picked up a base hit in every inning tonight, but the Angels have picked up at least a run in every inning tonight and lead 7-0 on 7 hits. The Mariners no runs, 5 hits. Ruppert Jones takes it away, ball 1. Jones took a third strike, his first at bat. Tanana, showing sharpness with his control, has not walked a man, has struck out 5. His pitch is bouncing in and over the glove of Humphrey all the way to the screen. 2-0 the count. It appeared to be a change. Chalk at third, Grich the shortstop, with Remy and Solaita deep on the right side of the infield for the left-handed batting Jones. The outfield swung around toward right, with Bonds in right, Bochte right center, and Rudi in left. Swing and a miss by Jones. He went after a fastball. This is the only American League game, the official opener in the Kingdome. The National League traditional opener in Cincinnati, won by the Reds 5-3. The pitch is swung on and fouled toward us. Goes 2 booths off to the left in a photographer's loft. And we would guess at the radio television level here at the Kingdome, we'll see lots of activity. I understand, Al, that they baptized you rather appropriately early in this one.
Rudely, they christened it.
First inning, and Al made a great play. Don told us about it on television. Strike 3 called, and Jones knew it. Looked at a fastball on the corner. That's the 6th strikeout for Frank Tanana. The way Don described it, after the ball rattled off all 4 walls, you made one of the great fumble recoveries. You smothered it, and it just throbbed beneath your body for another 15 seconds. And Dick Nelson, appropriately, stood as far away as he could. Line drive, base hit over the shortstop Grich's head. So the Mariners continue to pick up at least a hit an inning, and that is Stinson's first hit. He's 1 for 2. And the 6th hit allowed by Tanana, who has scattered them well and also has a couple of double plays in his support. Craig Reynolds, batting 9th in the order, just dropped his bat on the ball and hit a single back through the middle his only time up. The Angels 7, the Mariners nothing. And for this big crowd in Seattle, that score has to be more than a disappointment. They came to cheer with all their lungs, and unfortunately it's been the Angels picking up the key hits, although the Angels have only 1 more base hit than Seattle. Here's the pitch. Curveball, a beauty, and he had Reynolds backing out of there. 1 extra base hit for Seattle, a double by Stein. Angels have a couple of doubles and a 2-run homer by Rudi. The pitch, swing and a chopper to the mound. Glove by Tanana, takes it right onto the bag himself for the out. A 1-hopper that led Frank Tanana from the mound to first base, so he made the play himself unassisted. No runs, a hit, and a man left. We've completed 5 in the Kingdome, where the Angels lead 7-0.
If you're out with your family or driving alone, you know that Chevron is there along the way.
If you're out on vacation or driving near home, you know that Chevron can serve you every day.
Can we fill her right on up?
Do you want to pump your own?
We will
check your tires out.
Would you like to use a phone?
We'll do most anything and everything to make you feel at home. See what Chevron can do for you today. See what Chevron can do for you. We'll check underneath your hood.
Make sure your battery's alright.
Check your oil level too.
Make sure your fender's good and tight.
We'll do most anything and everything to keep our service right. See what Chevron can do for you today along the Chevron way.
After 5 innings, the Angels, with a commanding 7-0 lead, will face John Montague with Bobby Grich, Bobby Bonds, and Don Baylor. The first 3 men in the order, Remy, Grich, and Bonds without a base hit. Baylor, an RBI double, has walked and scored. He's 1 for 1, been on base all 3 times with a double and 2 walks. Rudi, after striking out his first time up, has a 2-run homer deep to left and a 2-run double. And Terry Humphrey has knocked in 2 runs for the Angels with a fielder's choice and a single, and scored a run himself. Grich, 0 for 3, has struck out, flied out, and fouled out. His fly ball to right was deep on the warning track. Grich, a solid 6'2", 180 pounds, out of a closed stance deep in the box. Montague, 29-year-old right-hander, kicks and deals. Strike outside corner. Montague, 6'2" and 205, makes his home in Glenwood, Alabama. Broad-shouldered right-hander comes up on top, gets his sign from Bob Stinson. The outfield playing Grich to pull. Here it comes. Fastball inside. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Grich swings and grounds it to third, fair. Backhanded by Stein. Drops it, picks it up, and gets him anyway. Good play. Now Stein takes a potential 2-base hit away from Bobby Grich as he moves quickly to his right, knocks it down, juggled it a bit, but a strong throw across to Meyer in time to get Grich by half step. Bobby Bonds, a right fielder, 0 for 3, struck out, flied out, and was safe on an error in the 4th inning when the Mariners committed a couple of errors and the Angels took advantage, scoring 2 runs. The pitch, strike, outside corner to Bonds. Bobby didn't think so. Bonds straddles the plate right in the middle of the box. Widespread. Here it comes. Swing and a drive to right field. It's hit well. Back goes Stanton on the warning track and makes the catch. So Bonds sends Lee Stanton right to the boards in right field to take care of his drive. 2 away. And here's Don Baylor, 1 for 1, a double, 2 walks. He's knocked in a run and scored a run. Angels baseball is brought to you by Chevron. Chevron dealers would like to suggest that the next time you're out driving, take it easy on the gas pedal. Remember, some prehistoric creature gave his or her all for that tank of gasoline. Baylor, who promised the Angels that he'd do something for him on opening night because he's always had good first games with Baltimore. And he immediately delivered in that first inning, knocking in the first run with a double to right field. He's walked twice since. The pitch by Montague, taken for a strike. Now Montague getting that first one in there. The outfield around toward left, giving all the hitters the lines. 1 strike pitch, check swing, and it's low, 1-1. Bill Haller says nope, he did not go around, as Bob Stinson, the catcher, appeals. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, no one aboard, 6th inning. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. 2 hops to Stein. He feeds it across, and the inning is over. Now, for the first time tonight, the Angels are held scoreless, and for the first time they go in order. And that brings a cheer from the Seattle fans. Middle of the 6th inning. It's Angels 7, Seattle nothing.
the Angels in baseball.
When do you say Budweiser?
Whenever the ump tells the Angels to play ball.
After a double play, a pitch hit that saves the day.
Anytime's the right time to say it. When do you say Budweiser? Lots of beer for any time at all. After a long home run, after the game is won, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, when you say Hey Angels, when you say Budweiser, you said it all. You said it all.
Number 5.
Leadoff man Dave Collins opens the bottom of the 6th inning for Seattle. Frank Tanana sitting on a 7-0 lead. Collins is struck out and lined out into a pitcher to first double play. Darrell Johnson's coaches, Jim Busby at third and Veda Pinson at first base, looking for some action. Pinson finishing his great career with almost 2,800 hits. He has more lifetime hits than the entire Seattle roster put together. Collins swings and fouls it out of play. We don't mean that in any demeaning way. It's just an indication of how young the Seattle club is. They have very few veterans. Stanton probably as experienced as any of them. The windup and the one-strike pitch. Curveball low, 1-1. Collins, switch hitter, batting from the right side. Veda also with more home runs. That's for certain. And the Seattle club, he had 256 before he finished. 1-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. Chalk backs up, goes off his chest, and Collins is safe at first base. Now there's a matter of that carpet eating you alive. That second bounce really picks up momentum, and Chalk backing up, letting the ball play him, has to go off his chest, and it will be one of the rare errors we'll see this year from Chalk. He goes to school on that play, and that's the kind of error you don't mind making when you're ahead 7-0, because you've learned something by it. So the leadoff man is on. Jose Baez, the second baseman, the honor of picking up the first Seattle Mariner base hit back in the first inning with a line single to right center. He's 1 for 2. And this Seattle crowd comes to life. Tanana sets, checks Collins, and the pitch. Strike, a fastball. Grich at short, Remy at second, squeezed toward the bag, looking for the double play chance. Chalk just off the cut of the sliding pit at third, and Solaita behind the runner at first base. One strike delivery, swinging a fly ball to right. Routine, Bonds is there. He's got it, 1 away. Any ball hit in the air, of course, until fans learn to read the dimensions here and read the baseball activity, they'll start to cheer because they hope it'll go out. We pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
Stay tuned to KMPC after tonight's game. This is Clark Race. Now, on my show, you'll hear Irene. She's 25 and looking for a date on our love line. Leave your dial at 710, where great entertainment continues on the Clark Race Show.
KMPC Los Angeles.
Steve Braun, the batter, 1 out. He swings and loops one to short, right at Grich. Oh, is he fighting those lights and makes the catch. Grich was playing that soft fly ball the way a infielder or outfielder will when they're looking up into a bright sun. He was shading his eyes and trying to turn his body away from the ball, and you didn't know whether he had it or not. But he makes the catch, and there's 2 away as Braun was jammed on the pitch. So Collins still at first base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the cleanup man right fielder Lee Stanton the batter. The closest the Mariners came to scoring was in the 2nd. Stanton led off with a single sharply to left center on the ground. Bochte into deep left center fielded the ball, and his momentum was going away from his throwing side. So Stanton elected to go for a 2-base hit, and a perfect throw from Bochte to Remy just did nail Stanton at second. Stein followed with a double that would have given the Mariners a run. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Here comes a change, swung on and missed. 1-1. Lee, I don't know of an enemy that he could name. What a nice man. Lattice, South Carolina. Up on the handle of the bat, very strong. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, a fastball backed him out of there. 2 balls and a strike. Tanana, a little trouble with a mound, looks down at his landing spot with that front foot. Now settles up on top. Hiding the ball behind him, stretches, looks over at Collins. And the 2-1 pitch. Change is pop foul and out of play. Back of home plate. Tanana has really improved his move to first base because of a change in his leg kick. As he comes up with that right leg, he curls it, the knee, back a little more than he did last year, and he gives that runner at first a look as if he's coming over there. And even though now Solaita isn't holding Collins on, that last delivery, Collins was leaning back toward first base. The 2-2 pitch, curveball high, and the count goes full to Lee Stanton. Tanana has not walked a man tonight. Remember now, no Angel pitcher has gone the full 9-inning distance this spring. And Tanana 2 outs into the 6th, and we'll see just how much endurance he has. The set and the 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, and it's fouled out of play. That one hammered back into the lower deck down below our broadcast location. Well, a couple of the Angels commenting this week on their goals this year. Jerry Remy said he'd like to steal 45, 50 bases, and first time on base he stole both second and third. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging another foul, same spot. Hit one of the guy wires and came back. And the other Angel, from whom we can expect predictions of various sorts through the course of the year, the bold youngster from Detroit out in the middle of the diamond, Frank Tanana, who just said, well, I'll probably shut him out, meaning the Mariners tonight. So far, so good for Frank. And now the 3-2 pitch. Collins goes, swung on and missed. Strike 3. He threw the fastball by Lee Stanton as Tanana, second in the majors last year in strikeouts, has his 7th of the game. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left. And after 6, it remains Angels 7, Mariners nothing.
You can't fly Continental. We won't be flying with you. You'll miss that club in the sky up high. We'll miss you up there too. You'll miss our movie show too. The music concerts and sports, the shorts, and all our smiling crew. Who's gonna treat you like we do? Who's gonna move their tail for you? Time to say bye-bye to you. Time to take off and fly, fly by. Wish you were going to, if you can't fly Continental.
Continental has 5 nonstop DC-10 flights to Chicago at 9, 12, 3, and 6, and late night.
7 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Angels. No runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Mariners. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Here again is Al Wiss.
Thanks, Dick. It'll be Joe Rudi, Tony Solaita, Bruce Bochte. The first 3 hitters for the California Angels here in the top of the 7th. In the background, perhaps you can hear the strains of the theme song to Rocky, an underdog who hit it big. And that's what the Seattle Mariners and their fans are hoping for here in 1977. As they kick off their stay in Seattle. Joe Rudi has been the hitting star in this game for the Angels. 4 RBIs, a 2-run double, and a 2-run home run hit deep to left field. John Montague, the Vietnam veteran, rocks into motion. The pitch is down low for ball 1. For the Angels, 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. For the Mariners, no runs, 6 hits. They have committed 2 errors. Montague rocks into motion. The pitch outside, 2-0. Don Kirkwood and Sid Manji tuning up in the Angels bullpen, as Dick Enberg mentioned. No Angel pitcher went 9 innings in spring. That's pretty much according to Hoyle. The pitch by Montague is fouled at the plate and off to the left of the Mariner dugout. Count goes to 2-1. You might be wondering about the progress of Paul Hartzell. Well, Paul rejoined the team today. His last outing at Hauteville, 5 innings pitched, 52 pitches, gave up only 3 hits, and the most important fact of all, no pain. They hope that he very soon takes up that number 4 spot in the starting rotation. Fouled back and over the screen by Joe Rudi, 2-2. Mike Cuellar, late last night, prior to the midnight deadline, was sent down to Salt Lake City. That cut the Angel pitching staff to 10 and put them at the 25-man limit. John Montague working to Joe Rudi. He rocks into motion, and the pitch sliced off over the Angel dugout, foul and out of play. Count holds at 2-2. Defensively for the Mariners, Braun is in left, Jones in center, Stanton in right, Stein at third, Reynolds at short, Baez at second, Meyer at first, Stinson behind the plate. Our umpire behind the plate is Bill Haller. Kunkel at first, Luciano at second, Kaiser at third. Grounded foul, and the one-hopper is almost barehanded by Dave Garcia. He flips over to Kaiser, who goes to Stein, and Stein throws it back to John Montague, and they'll keep that one in play. The count still level at 2-2 to Joe Rudi. Joe off to a red-hot start in this very first game. Swung on and missed, strike 3, as the Mariners finally get Joe Rudi. He has struck out twice tonight, but he did the damage in the third and fourth with that home run and double. Left-hander Tony Solaita up to hit now for California. Tony is 0 for 3. Waits on the first pitch from Montague. Here it comes. Down low, ball 1. Tony is very intent this year on trying to help the team reach its collective goal of getting into the playoffs. He very much wants to do that. Swung on and missed an off-speed pitch. He spent 8 years in the minor leagues. He paid the price. Now he's up in the majors. Swung on and missed. Another strike. And he wants to be on a pennant-winning team. In the 8 years in the minors, he was on 4 pennant-winning teams. But he says it's a whole different story in the majors. The 1-2 pitch from Montague, swung on and missed, strike 3. Second straight strikeout for Montague. Bruce Bochte moving in. Angel Baseball brought to you by Budweiser. Next time you open a cold bottle or can of Budweiser, take time to read the label. It has all the ingredients of a bestseller. Bochte looks at a breaking ball that misses low. 1-0 to count to Bruce. Singled back in the second, lined out in the third, walked in the fifth. Big left-hand hitter. Looks at a breaking ball at the knees for a strike. 1-1. It's been all Angels tonight. 7-0 here in the top of the 7th. John Montague in relief of Diego Segui. The right-hander's 1-1 pitch bends inside for a ball. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball low. 3-1. Bochte, one of those Angels touched up by a minor injury this spring. Waits on the 3-1 pitch. In for a strike. And, of course, the big key with all the talent that the Angels have this year is getting the regulars, keeping them in the starting lineup, keeping them healthy. That has been a problem in the spring. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So after striking out to Montague, walks Bochte, And now we'll face Dave Chalk.
Stepping in, number 7 for the California Angels, third baseman, Dave Chalk.
Dave Chalk, a .339 hitter this past spring. Singled back in the second inning. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Hitting now with a runner at first base. Bochte with a good size lead. Outside, ball 1. And Kirkwood and Monzi continue to heat up in the Angel bullpen. So it could be that Frank Tanana will not go 9 tonight. On the outside corner with a breaking ball for a strike. Or perhaps just a precautionary measure for Norm Sherry. Outside. As Chalk watched the fastball away. Why take a chance? And Tanana also will be the only pitcher to see action in 2 games against the Mariners. He's slated to go on the final game of this series on Sunday. The pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Bochte, the runner at first base. Dave Chalk at the plate. 2 outs for the Angels. 7-0 lead. Top of the 7th. Spring training is over with. We are now in the regular season. It's all for real as the Angels try to pull down their first division title in their history. The pitch is popped high on the infield. Meyer calling for it in foul territory, and he makes the catch. Chalk fouling out to Dan Meyer. No runs. No hits. 1 man left on. At the end of 6 1/2, the score remains. The Angels 7, the Mariners nothing.
There for 2 at Victoria Station.
Frank Tanana so far has made good on his post. He said, I'm going to shut out the Seattle Mariners, and he has seen them for 6 innings and done just that. He now faces them in the last of the 7th. Bill Stein, Dan Meyer, Ruppert Jones to hit for the Mariners. Tanana looks in for the sign, rocks and delivers. Breaking ball on the inside corner at the knees for a strike. Stein 1 for 2 with a double back in the second. Swings for the next pitch. A 1-hopper to Chalk. He backs up, throws, and nabs him. So Chalk backing up, even with the bag, flanking down the 1-hopper. And Stein is out, grounding out to third. Danny Meyer now, 0 for 2 to face Frank Tanana. And as they always say, it's all right to brag as long as you can back it up. And so far he has. The full windup by Frank and the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Tanana shooting for 25 wins this year. The pitch, slow breaking ball that is hit a ton, but pulled well foul off the right field line and out of play. There's never been any question about the offensive abilities of Danny Meyer. First round pick from Detroit. They gobbled him up in a hurry when they saw that he was available. He's only 24 years old, but he's been in the major leagues for a while. Hits to the right side, right at Jerry Remy. Straightens up and casually throws to Solaita at first. And there are 2 out for the Mariners in their half of the 7th.
Now here's center fielder, number 9 for the Mariners, Ruppert Jones.
Center fielder Ruppert Jones, who was a nemesis of Frank Tanana in spring training with a home run in the very first inning that he faced Frank. Leans in and waits on Tanana's first delivery. Missing outside and low for a ball with a fastball. 1-0 to Jones. He has a very exaggerated closed stance, but he crouches left-hand side of the plate. Swung on and fouled back over the screen and out of play. Terry Humphrey, incidentally, who's catching in this game, the first baseball game underneath the dome, also caught in an exhibition game that the Astros were involved with. That was the first baseball game ever played underneath the Superdome. He settles in behind the plate. Wigwags the sign out to Tanana. He has it, the 1-1 pitch. Waved at and fouled off the glove of Terry Humphrey and back to the screen. 1-2. Regular season opener from the Kingdome in Seattle. 7-0 Angels. 2 outs, last of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. And they call that a foul tip. Excuse me, that was called a ball by umpire Bill Haller, so the count goes to 2-2. The pitch from Tanana. Outside and low. Haller called no pitch on the previous pitch. Count is 2-2. Tap foul behind the plate. Count hangs at 2-2. Tanana rocks into motion the pitch. Hit off the end of the bat, down the line, off a left field and foul, bouncing into the stands in front of the onrushing Joe Rudi. And again, Rudi had to come over that mound in foul territory down the left field line in the bullpen of the Mariners. That is really a hazard. Tanana has a sign he wants. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing inside for a ball. Count goes to 3-2. 3:16 down the lines, and they've got a little notation under that says 53 FM. And continuing with the nautical theme, that stands for fathoms, 53 fathoms. Swung on a long fly ball that is hit to center field, but Bochte is right there. Flags it down, makes the catch. Play-by-play, top of the 8th. Here's Don Drysdale.
All right, Al, thank you. It'll be Terry Humphrey to lead it off, followed by the leadoff man, Jerry Remy, and then Bobby Grich in that order. Angels 7 runs on 7 hits. The Mariners no runs on 6 hits. Humphrey tonight is 1 for 3. Montague winds the first pitch, a fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Here's the next pitch, hit off the hands, wide at third. Stein cuts in front of Reynolds and throws him out. And there's one gone, and here's Jerry Remy, the leadoff man. Remy tonight is 0 for 2. He's bounced to Meyer twice, sacrificed, walked, stole a couple of bases, and scored the first Angel run of the year. That was in the first inning. Montague winds the first pitch, taken high, ball 1. Stein right up, even with a bag at third. The infield straight away, the outfield. They play Remy to hit to the opposite field. Here's the next pitch, a fastball for a strike, and the count 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, called strike 2. 1-2 the count. On deck, Bobby Grich. Remy takes the next pitch high and away, and the count even 2-2. Montague checking signs with Stinson. And the right-hander winds. The next pitch got him swinging, strike 3. Third strikeout for Montague, 2 gone to Bobby Grich. Angel Baseball is brought to you by Continental Airlines, a proud bird with a golden tail. If you can't fly Continental to Chicago, Denver, Houston, well, try to have a nice trip anyway. Here's Grich, and Montague's first pitch is slider for a strike in the count 0-1. Montague comes right back, 1 strike pitch, slider, strike 2 call over the outside corner. Montague showing a good, strong, quick slider. Here's a 2-strike pitch. He drops from the side, delivers a fastball just inside, ball 1. Montague, a 6'2", 205-pounder. As a sign, winds in the 1-2 pitch, fouled down the right side and out of play. Count remains at 1-2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Grich, fouled at the plate, and the count remains at 1-2. On deck, Bobby Bonds. 2 outs in the Angel 8th inning. They lead it 7-0. Montague with a new ball, checking with his catcher Stinson. Nods his head, takes a little too much time, and Grich steps out. Now ready to go. Here's a 1-2 pitch inside, and the count 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Grich. He crossfires and delivers outside with a fastball. The count 3-2. A full count to Grich with 2 outs, nobody on. Here's a 3-2 pitch outside and low. That's ball 4. Now the third base on balls by Montague. His base on balls and strikeouts are now the same at 3. Here's Bonds. He is 0 for 4. He struck out, flied to right, was on an error and scored. And he flied again to right. Bobby, 1 stolen base tonight. Montague set. The pitch to Bonds is outside. A fine save by Stinson. Meyer holding Grich at first base. Bobby with the lead as Montague checks signs. Infield all deep. Outfield the same. The next pitch to Bonds, swung on and missed, strike 1. Count even 1-1. Second baseman Baez to his right and over towards the bag. Reynolds deep to the hole at short. The pitch to Bonds, a fly ball up the alley right field. Stanton over there to make the catch. Side retired. The Angels gone in the 8th. No runs on no hits. They leave 1. And after 7.5, it remains 7-0 Angels. Go to the last half of the 8th inning. Bob Stinson will lead it off, followed by Craig Reynolds and then Dave Collins in that order. Tanana working on a 6-hit shutout. I gave you the other score, the opener in the National League. Cincinnati defeating San Diego 5-3. Fryman over Jones. Tanana winds. A pitch to Stinson inside corner. Strike 1 call. Infield back, outfield the same. Tanana winds. Here's the young left-hander's 1-strike pitch. That leans him away. The count 1-1. Tanana winds. Here's the 1-1 pitch, a curveball. Drops low and inside, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Frank working fast. 2-1 pitch, hit off the hands, pop foul, coming back, and that will be out of play. The official attendance tonight, 57,762. That sets a new opening day record as far as an expansion team is concerned. There's a chopper hit up the third base side, foul. Count remains 2-2. Nobody's going to go over and get it, so Tanana walks all the way over across the line, and he'll pick it up himself. The count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch by Frank, a check swing, fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. This is the largest opening night crowd in baseball. The old record, 10,000 below this, 47,568 in the Cardinals night opener in 70. 2-2 pitch, hit off the hands, pop foul. Humphrey coming over by the Angel dugout and makes the catch. That is out number 1. We're going to pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
Stay tuned to KMPC after tonight's game. This is Clark Racing. On my show, you'll hear Irene. She's 25 and looking for a date on her love line. Leave your dial at 710, where great entertainment continues on the Clark Race Show.
KMPC Los Angeles.
Here's Craig Reynolds, the shortstop. Tonight is 1 for 2. He singled his first time at bat in the 3rd inning. Bounce back to Tanana, and he lines one to right for a base hit. Bond's down in a hurry to stop that one, so the young man from Texas is 2 for 3. Hit number 7 off Tanana, and here's Dave Collins. The best night opener for the American League came in 1968. That's when Oakland had 47,233. Now with tonight's attendance of 57,762, sets a major league mark for opening night attendance. Tanana working out of the stretch, the pitch to Collins, inside corner, strike 1 call. The infield, they look for the ground ball and 2. They've got to turn it in a hurry. Tanana comes right back. Strike 2 call at the knees. Collins didn't like that call too much. On deck, Jose Baez. Tanana again set. Humphrey sets inside again. Little looper hit off the hands to Grich, who shades his eyes from the lights and makes the catch. Now Tanana, who can come inside to those right-handers just remarkably well, just ate Collins' lunch up there at home plate on that fastball. And here's Baez. Baez is 2 for 3, singled his first time at bat. Tanana ready to go. First pitch, a line drive, base hit left field. Rudi down to make the play. Stopping at second base is Reynolds. Yeah, that is hit number 8 for Seattle, and here's Steve Braun with 2 out. And the 2 youngsters, Baez and Reynolds, their first time in the major leagues, and they're just kind of ho-humming a little bit. Baez goes 2 for 4, and Reynolds 2 for 3. Here's Braun. He is 1 for 3. On deck, Leroy Stanton. Tanana set. Pitch to Braun outside with a fastball. The count 0-1. Check that. 1 ball, no strikes. Tanana again set. Next pitch to Braun, in and over with a fastball. The count 1-1. Now the crowd here, what's remaining of the 57,762, still quite a few left. Trying to see their Mariners put something on the board. Tanana comes back, curveball, a little bit low. The count 2 balls and a strike. Tanana's next pitch, line foul down the right field side and out of play. Now Braun hit it hard. He got a change up and from the middle of the plate in and pulled it foul. 2-2 the count. Enrique Romo and Nolan Ryan, the 2 pitchers slated to go tomorrow night. As Tanana checks his sign, sets and delivers a curveball, a fine save by Humphrey. Now the count goes 3-2, and the runners will be going. And the fans, they want some action. Tanana set. Runners go. 3-2 pitch. Outside and low. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded. The bases for the Mariners. At third base is Craig Reynolds. At second base is Jose Baez. At first base is Steve Braun. And here's ex-Angel Leroy Stanton. Tanana working out of the full windup. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 1. John Verhoeven and Mickey Scott throwing in the bullpen, a right-hander and a left-hander. Tanana still throwing well. He winds. Here's the 1-strike pitch just inside. The count 1-1. Frank has his sign. Left-hander winds. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Foul back to the right side and out of play. There the count goes 1-2. On deck is Bill Stein. One ball, 2 strikes as the fans try to get something going. Tanana trying to close the door. Left-hander winds in the 1-2 pitch high. That's ball 2, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bases loaded in the last half of the 8th inning. The Angels on top 7-0. Tanana again checks with Humphrey. Infield, outfield, straightaway deep. Frank ready to go. Winds a curveball. Got him looking. Strike 3 call. Strikeout number 8 by Tanana. And the Mariners are turned away in the 8th. No runs on 2 hits. They'll face right-hander John Montague. For Montague, this is starting his 5th+ inning of work. He winds, and the pitch to Baylor. Ground ball hit on 2 hops to Stein. Backs up, plays it on the big hop, and throws him out. Yeah, there's one gone to Rudi. Joe's had a big night. A home run and a double, driving in 4. The infield back, outfield straight away for Rudi. Angels on top, 7-0. Montague winds. The first pitch, a strike on the outside part of the plate. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Foul coming back, and Rudi had a good swing. Oh, 0-2 to Joe. On deck, Tony Solaita. Montague, right-hander winds. Here's a 2-strike pitch taken high, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Left-hander Bill Laxton throwing down in the Seattle bullpen down the left field line. As Montague winds, here's a 1-2 pitch. Ground ball hit to the hole. That'll be a base hit left field. And that got through there like a rocket. Joe Rudi picks up his 3rd hit of the night. That is just the 2nd hit off of Montague. Here's Tony Solaita, the first baseman. Tony tonight is 1 for 4. Meyer holding Rudi. The pitch to Solaita, foul coming back and right below us. Oh, 0-1 the count with 1 gone in the Angel 9th inning. They're on top, 7-0. Montague ready. The pitch to Solaita popped up. Stein says he wants it. Third baseman right there and makes the catch. The others 2 gone to Bochte.
California Angels, number 22, Bruce Bochte.
Bochte has walked twice, scored twice, lined to short, a little looper, and singled his first time at bat. Montague checks, and the right-hander's pitch is just inside, ball 1. Bochte checking with Dave Garcia at third, but Dave just standing there clapping his hands, holding a couple of fingers out on both sides, saying 2 gone, go ahead. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Bochte takes inside a fastball. The count 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. There's a strike on the outside part of the plate, and the count 2 balls and a strike. 57,762 here to open the Kingdome in Seattle. Montague again ready. The 2-1 pitch, breaking pitch. That's in and over. Now the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 outs. To Bochte, who wears number 22. The 2-2 pitch, just a little bit low. Ball 3, 3-2. Now with 2 outs, Rudi at first base will be going, and Danny Meyer will move in and play behind. Montague has his sign set. Runner goes. A pitch is fouled to the left side, out of play. Took just a little bit off that fastball. The artificial turf here in Seattle, not as hard as some of the other ballparks as we visit. Actually, not that many in the American League anyway. We've visited in the past. 3-2 the count. Montague set. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Pop fly. That'll go over on the third base side. Out of play, foul. Back about 5-6 rows. Count remains 3-2, and Rudi will go back to first. Probably one of the hardest is the Astrodome in Houston. But this turf here, fairly soft. It's softer than Kansas City's. A little more of a porous texture. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, line drive, base hit, right field. Rudi around second on his way to third. He'll make it easily on the base hit by Bochte. And you could hang your wash on that one.
Number 7, third baseman, Dave Chalk.
So Bochte 2 for 3 tonight, and here's Dave Chalk. Bob Stinson out to the mound to talk to Montague. Bill Laxton continues to throw down in the Seattle bullpen. The Kingdome in Seattle, Washington. Chalk tonight is 1 for 4. He singled his first time in bat, a hit-and-run single. Montague set. The pitch to Dave is a strike at the knees on the outside part of the plate. The count 0-1. Here's a 1-strike pitch, just low and away, and the count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nolan Ryan and Enrique Romo, we told you tomorrow night. Then on Friday night, it'll be Gary Ross and Stan Thomas. After that, we'll wait and see. Here's the next pitch to Chalk, foul coming back to the screen. The count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. Runners at the corner. Rudi at third. At first base is Bochte. Montague set. Here's a 2-2 pitch, a ground ball hit to the hole. Reynolds there goes a short way to Baez. They get Bochte, and the side retired. The Angels gone in the 9th. The first pitch by Tanana to Stein is a called strike. Third baseman tonight is 1 for 3. He doubled his first time at bat in the second inning. There's a drive to center field, hit well. Bochte going back, and he can't get it. It's over his head to the wall. He gets it on 2 hops. Stein to second base will hold right there with a 410-foot double. Yeah, here's Danny Myers, a leadoff double by Bill Stein at second base. Tanana checking signs, and the left-hander sets, checks Stein. The pitch, drive to left field. Rudi going back, he's there, makes the catch. 1 gone, and here's Ruppert Jones. Jones tonight is 0 for 3, struck out twice and fly to center field. Jones, left-hand hitter. Tanana set at the belt. He checks Stein at second base. A fastball on the outside corner. Called strike one. The hits are even at 9, but the Angels a commanding lead of 7-0. Tanana again set. Pitch to Jones. Curveball outside. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tanana sets, checks, and delivers a curveball outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Tomorrow we'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 7:15. Game time 7:35. Little late start tonight with all the festivities and dignitaries here in Seattle. Here's Tanana's 2-1 pitch. Fouled at the plate, and the count even 2-2. Tanana trying to put a damper on all of the gaiety and festivities that they've had here. Two and 2 the count. Frank has his sign. Sets at the belt, and the next pitch to Jones. Got him swinging. Nope, check that. Foul tipped, and Humphrey could not hold on to it. Tanana struck out 8. Frank's again set. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Just missed outside with a fastball. Struck out 8, walked 1. On deck is Bob Stinson. 1 out in the Seattle 9th inning. Stein at second base. As Tanana sets, Humphrey sets outside. Curveball, got him swinging, strike 3. Now you can make that 9 strikeouts, and here's Bob Stinson. Scrap iron, he's had a tough time behind there tonight. He's been bouncing all over the plate, dodging rockets. And he's done a good job. Stein is lead at second base. The Mariners down to their last out. Tanana sets, and the pitch to Stinson is outside with a curveball. Ball 1. Stinson, a switch hitter, hitting from the right side. Tanana sets, and the pitch is just inside. Ball 2, 2-0. Humphrey holding that glove right there, but Bill Haller saying nope. Two balls, no strikes. Tanana again sets. There's a change, foul away, and the count 2-1. 1 pitch, fastball outside. The count 3-1. There's a fastball taken high. That's ball 4, so that is walk number 2. And here's the shortstop, Craig Reynolds. Good-looking young shortstop, Craig Reynolds. Tanana sets, delivers, fastball outside corner, strike 1 call. Tanana's 1-strike pitch, curveball, that's in and over, strike 2 call. So now the Mariners down to their last strike. Set. Here's a 2-strike pitch, line drive center field, Bochte right there, makes a catch, and the ball game is over. Frank Tanana congratulated by Terry Humphrey. Teammates come out, Gary Ross, Orlando Ramirez, Billy Muffet, the pitching coach. The Angels behind Frank Tanana. shut out the Seattle Mariners by a score of 7-0. So the opening night, the opening victory goes to Tanana and the Angels. For the totals, here's Al.
All right, Don, the Angels with 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 10 men left on base. For Seattle, no runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, and they stranded 9. Frank Tanana, the winning pitcher, Diego Segui, the loser. We'll visit with Frank Tanana on Angel Report, and that will follow in just a moment.
California Angels Baseball is brought to you by Chevron dealers, who offer you 3 grades of quality Chevron gasoline. There's one just right for your car. So stop by and see what Chevron can do for you. By Anheuser-Busch, Los Angeles, brewers of world-renowned Budweiser, Michelob, and Busch. When do you say Budweiser? By Continental Airlines, the proud bird with a golden tail. If you can't fly Continental to Chicago, Denver, or Houston, try to have a nice trip anyway. And by Chevrolet. Like baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, Chevy is an American favorite. Test drive America's largest family of small cars. Nobody has a lineup like Chevrolet. This broadcast authorized under radio rights granted by the Angels solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any other use prohibited. Air personnel approved by the Angels and Golden West broadcasters. Now stay tuned for important post-game coverage on Angel Report, coming right up.